Welcome back to another M&M podcast. This is your host, Mike Madera, alongside
Max Robinson. I'd say we're thrilled to be back here, but I don't know how we're feeling to be back here, but I think it's still going to be a great one.
And Max didn't mean what he meant when he said that, but we were in here last night, recorded our episode for today being Wednesday, and everything went wrong that could have went wrong.
Yeah.
Our battery died, and right now we're having difficulties with our camera as well.
Headphones won't work.
So we're just, and Max has 2 sets on, so yeah, we're just winging it, but blessed to be back this week. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving break. Max, what was your favorite part about Thanksgiving?
My favorite part just had to been spending time with my family that I hadn't seen in a while. It's really good to see my little sister, Sophie. She's only 7 years old, so I cherish all the moments I get with her. It's great to just see her starting to grow into her own little person.
Have you ever told the podcast about the story about Sophie?
What story? There's a lot of stories.
I love
best
hearing
one?
about the story.
The best one?
The best one. Go ahead and let that. Those of you that don't know, Max has a little sister. How old is she, Max?
She's 7 years old.
7-year-old sister, and I think she just has. I have never met her personally, but from what I hear, she just has an outgoing.
Oh yeah, she's pretty crazy. For those of you who knew me more when I was younger, she's kind of like another version of that, crazy version. And this was probably a couple summers ago, I was going to babysit her for the day, and my dad and stepmom had texted me that they needed to get going to work, and they knew I was like 2-3 minutes away, so they told Sophie not to come to the door for strangers, that I was going to be there in about 2 minutes. I knew the garage code, all that stuff. I'll be right in. And when I got there, I was walking up to the door, and I hear Sophie, when I get to the garage door, yelling, Max, is that you? And I was like, yeah, Sophie, it's me. She said, all right, Mom and Dad told me not to get the door for anyone, but since I know it's you, I'm going to get the door for you. And she ran over and opened the door for me and was super excited to see me. And it's hilarious.
But she was in the garage.
In the moment,
yeah.
yes. And she couldn't reach it. She couldn't reach the garage door opener. So, because I didn't know the code after all. My dad wasn't texting me back. And she just went and opened up the front door. And that's how I got in. But it was pretty funny because she couldn't reach it.
Yeah, what a character. She's funny. We should have her on the podcast sometime.
Oh, yeah. She would be great.
Yeah. So, I had a great Thanksgiving. Spent it with people that I'm close with. Love all you guys, everybody that listens. And Max as well did a lot of things on investing into the podcast with our merch. We're getting new merch coming in soon. I'm just working on designs, making sure that it's the best quality for you guys. Max, talk a little bit about your top 3 favorite dishes that you ate for Thanksgiving, man.
Oh, yeah. I would have to say, to start, I would put mashed potatoes up there.
Number
you
1?
gotta have the good amount of butter, yeah.
Oh,
you can have
100%.
gravy if you want. I like a little bit of gravy, not too much, just a little bit. Mac and cheese, definitely up there. My sister made mac and cheese for our family this year. It was great. Shout out E-Money.
E-Money.
And then third, I'll just have to say turkey. All reliable, consistent. Dark meat's always good. Talked about that in the episode that unfortunately got deleted. We had a long talk about that. Mike was hyping it up a lot as well, so I know you feel the same way as I do.
It was, yeah. But, so I think my top 3, number 1 is obviously mashed potatoes. It's what I always look forward to. Number 2 is dark meat turkey. I don't like the dry white meat.
Yeah.
As I learned yesterday, maybe I'm just having the wrong person bake it for me, but that's going to change sooner or later. And then lastly, I'm going to go green bean casserole, but it's got to have that, what do you call those, like little onion things on the top?
Onion crisps, I think
crisp.
that's what you said.
They're amazing.
Something like that, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So,
they're great though.
yeah, so that's my top 3 for sure. And it varies. It does vary depending on what I'm eating. But I think mac and cheese is overrated.
Yeah, you think so?
100%. I think mac and cheese is way overrated.
I mean, I can understand why, but I feel like it's essential to have.
Top 5, it's in the top 5.
Alright, yeah.
But it is not number 1, 2, or 3 for me. That's just personal.
Yeah.
Max and I were talking a little bit today. Max, how are you feeling about doing a live show, man? What are your thoughts there?
I would love to do a live show. I think there's a lot of great guests that we could potentially have on a live show. Someone like a Coach Schmitz or someone like a Marty Bell.
Right.
What do you think?
And so here's my thinking behind that is if we did a live show in Black Box at Simpson College,
yeah,
we would have like a row of people that are going to be on. And one at a time, we just bring them up. And then they just come up, talk for a while, go next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be a banger episode.
Oh, yeah.
I would be super down for that. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you show us some love on IG or something. Let us know. That's something you're very interested in. We have A lot of listeners. We're growing. Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, all that, man.
TikTok.
Super blessed. TikTok. Gosh, our TikTok is so goofy.
Yeah, TikTok's awesome. Make sure you're following there if you want to see some real Eminem content.
100%.
That's probably the purest content you're going to get.
It's goofy, man. Really goofy. Probably do some interviews tonight, so be on the lookout for that. So, we have started this mental minute, and Max and I have expressed that we're really big into mental health. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. We talked about how, it's just super important that we take care of our mentals, you know. And before we start with what we talk about, I want to give a shout out to Heather at Athletico. She had informed me about a group. If you're in the Des Moines or Indianola area, make sure you hit up. It's called Empowering Peers, Mental Health Peer Support Group. They are meeting December 15th from 6 to 7 and December 27th from 6 to 7 at the public library. So make sure you guys go hit them up if you guys are interested in that. And if not, there is a group here at Simpson called Storm Speaks. It's a mental health group. I was wearing the shirt yesterday during yesterday's podcast, but here we are today.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they meet on Mondays at what time? 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock,
Yeah.
Monday in Cole's classrooms. And if you are not in the Simpson area and you're a listener and you find yourself struggling with certain mental health, make sure you listen to our Mental Minute and give us a really good idea of what you're going through if you just want to talk to us about it or if you find it beneficial. For our Mental Minute, we talked about anxiety and how it can be overwhelming and things you can do to expand coping with it. I don't want to say cope. I want to say just put yourself in a better mindset. And my number one was showers and how I've never taken a bad shower where I've gotten out of the shower and just been in a bad mood. I mean, unless I got soap in my eye or something, but that doesn't really happen. So I get in there and I jam out and I'm listening to great music and then usually I get out and I have a way better attitude than when I got in the shower. So I think showering is a really good thing you can do if you find yourself struggling with homework or finding things piling up on your plate and you just need a minute to breathe. I feel like no one bothers you when you're in the shower. So definitely take that into consideration.
Yeah, I feel like showering's a great option. I feel like there's many others too. Anything that's really going to take your mind off what you're currently doing. So sometimes for me, I can get pretty anxious just thinking about the future, thinking about what assignments I got coming up. I just need to take a step back, take a moment to understand what I'm doing now is what is the most important. Things like going on a walk, going to fill up my water bottle, even just taking a drink of water, taking a little break for a minute just to breathe. Stuff like that really has been beneficial for me just to calm my mind and gain an understanding of what I need most in the moment.
It's almost essential to do these things to kind of find time for yourself. I always try to find time for myself within the days, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And something we both brought up was the music when we're in the showers, things along those lines. Spotify Wrapped just came out. It just came out with what you listen to most this year.
Yeah.
I got a picture of mine too.
Yeah,
Max and I can talk about ours, but
I think we had the same number one artist, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Juice WRLD coming in number 1. Do you know who else was in your top 5?
Yeah, so it's Suicide Boys at number 2. That was the end of our Mental Minute, by the way. That was not a good...
it was just a minute.
Yeah. It was a good minute. Suicide Boys number 2. 42 Doug at number 3. Drake and Pop Smoke at 4 and 5. My number 1 song was Kick Do Click.
I started playing. Who's that by?
Mexican OT. He is a very aggressive rapper. He talks, but it gets me in the zone. I listen to a lot of it during football season. That's where I got my mind on things. But Juice WRLD always puts me in a great state of mind, whether it's to get me pumped up or to get me mellowed out.
Yeah, I love Juice WRLD a lot. I've listened to him pretty much no matter what the occasion is. I can usually find some songs that will fit that mood that I'm trying to pursue or trying to fill. I had Mac Miller, Kid Cudi, Kanye, and Drake all up there as well. So honestly, pretty much similar guys in terms of genre, rap, and songs that they just create. But that's honestly just what I'm into. My top songs were Bad Habit, Don't Mind If I Do, Stuck in My Ways, which is an unreleased Juice WRLD song, very fire by the way. If you haven't heard it, you gotta listen to it.
It's a must.
The Highs and Lows by Chance the Rapper, and Love Lost. So
let me jump back up to that. That's a great top.
Yeah.
Mine was very similar. My songs were little bit different, but more just because football season hit, and that's when I listen to the most music.
Yeah.
You listen to music to calm yourself sometimes, to get yourself like in a right mindset, and I love that about you. That's when your passion for music and how much you listen to it gets me going. So I love that about you. If you didn't know that,
Good to hear.
yeah, good to hear. How do you feel now that we're talking about Juice WRLD, both as our number one? How do you feel about everything going on right now? Do you know about all that
What do you
with
mean?
his girlfriend?
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Oh.
Ridiculous.
Honestly, I don't know. Like I've been kind of like I unfollowed her on Twitter and Instagram. Like
Yep.
or on Instagram, and I still follow her on Twitter just because I'm not sure like if I should be supporting that or not. I mean, I'm sure they had a lot of. I'm sure they have a deeper understanding, or she does at least, of like what he would have thought about all of, like what she's doing with herself, and I understand she's still got to make money and all that, but
so here's my thing is, and
It's a
it's
moral
not even
thing.
about that. It's a moral thing, 100%. But also, those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I'm gonna give you a good insight. Juice WRLD was dating this girl. Should we drop her name?
yeah,
Go
she's
ahead.
not gonna hear us.
Go ahead. You
Hopefully she does. Ali Lottie.
Ali Lottie was Juice WRLD's like changing point. Like he did a whole 180 when he met this girl because he came out with a song like All Girls Are the Same. Like he had been hurt before in the past, and this girl like changed him on so
Yeah.
many things, and he fell in love. Like you can see the love in his eyes.
Like in the documentary you watch,
Oh
there's
my
a
gosh.
very powerful part where he changes the lyrics of a song that's about heartbreak and changes them to lyrics like on the spot about how she saved him, how she changed his just vision and idea of what love was. So
And it was really powerful in the show. So he goes on and dates her up until he passes away, and then he was with her when he passed away. He was with a lot of people, and she was really hurt. You can see it. I mean, obviously, like a lot of people were impacted by this, including myself. Max was too. So she ended up recently getting on OnlyFans, which is,
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, it's you sell pictures of yourself, and it's just like it's a bad rep for a lot of people, but a lot of people find pleasure in that.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard because I'm pretty sure she was into some of that before she started dating him, and even maybe a little bit early on. But also, did you see the stuff with like her
The
new
guy.
boyfriend?
So that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna bring up next was, she also got a boyfriend, and he's been wearing Juice WRLD's clothes and like carrying around his money or
Yeah, his
jewelry, all that. Like that's just the most disrespect. And a lot of
Yeah.
people, like Max and myself, find a lot of love for Juice WRLD. So for us to see that, like I lost a lot of respect for her, for letting him do that in the first place. But also, she's got to understand she's in a fishbowl. And I don't know if you know the fishbowl theory, but the fishbowl theory is when you're higher up or you're looked highly upon, you're in a fishbowl. And the fishbowl is clear. You can see through a fishbowl, can't you? And every time you walk past your fishbowl, you're always looking at it, right?
Yep.
So people look highly upon her because of who she was with. And then she goes and acts up. People see that, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to be big. So she's got to understand the position she's in and how it affects other people and how it's
Yeah.
making a bad look for her.
It's really interesting though because like there's a lot of people at that point like Antonio Brown and Kanye West too. Those are people who have they're you talk about Ali being in a fishbowl. They're in like in the fish. They're in an aquarium.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But it seems like a lot of time, regardless of whether you think those three people are right or wrong, we get to see their actions like on social media and just basic little stuff. You see it with all kinds of celebrities.
Yeah, it's crazy what fame will do to you. But I also think a lot of people, I'm going to get a lot of backlash, I feel like, for saying this, but it's okay. I love Kanye. What he's been doing recently is very questionable.
Yeah.
But I recently heard him on a podcast talking about how he says these things and people go every which way with what he says. But this would be like, and then he said something about how, I don't know, like, he goes off and on about so many things. And he said, no, I took that out of context. Like, you guys took it out of context. This is what I meant. When he explained it, I was like, oh, like, I can see that, but that's not how it
Yeah.
looks, you know? So I think he's an idiot for posting that stuff, but I also think, like, his meaning behind it is like, oh, okay, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Most of his things. I'm not super into Kanye, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
I just know his music's fire. So
Yeah.
that's all I really care about. You know, that's all I really get into for most artists. But yeah, let's step away from music for a little bit. Let's get on to television. Since we're little podcast guys. What was your favorite TV show as a kid, man?
I don't know if I could have one favorite over another. I mean, as I started getting older, it became shows like The Middle or Modern Family. But when I was a kid, I don't know. I was really into.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be like a cartoon, like it's just a show, you know, like kids TV.
There's just so many I was into. Like I think Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, like Jessie.
Oh, Jessie was a banger.
Victorious, iCarly. iCarly's pretty fire.
It was pretty fire.
That's a pretty fire show. What about you?
For me, it's hard because I was into like weird stuff, dude. Like I watched the first TV series I watched was like Dexter. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, I know what Dexter is.
Dexter was fire. That was one of my first. And then like the older I got, the more I got into, like you said, the Goldbergs. Like that's one of my top 5.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I still watch Big Bang Theory every day.
Yeah.
I watch so many things along those lines. So I'm really into those shows now. I think a big sleeper is what's the name of that show I'm thinking of, man? It is. You have a T-shirt of it. My name is Earl. That's what it is, bro. My name is Earl. I watched that when I was younger too, so that's up there. But cartoon wise, like young TV, Sweet Life Zach Cody, man, that was up there for me. That's a banger.
Yeah, I probably never really watched it. I remember watching it some, but I just wasn't really interested in it.
What about kids cartoon? SpongeBob. That was my top.
I liked SpongeBob, but I didn't really watch it. I didn't really get interested by it that much.
Right, wasn't a priority for you.
I definitely would watch it though, because I mean, SpongeBob is still awesome. Just not every episode. I just get bored, walk away.
Yeah.
Stop watching the show. Some of them though, I remember staying and watch the whole thing.
100%, man. Yeah, I struggled watching it as well. So it was different. You know, I struggled like sitting through SpongeBob. Like there wasn't really like a story, unless like the movie, bro. Oh, those were bangers. The SpongeBob movies were bangers. That's yeah, those are sleepers for sure.
Oh yeah.
To get a little off topic there, we are coming around to winter. Iowa winter. People are not loving that right now. We have listeners in Arizona. We have listeners in California. We have listeners Minnesota.
Yeah.
Missouri. It's in the Midwest. It's becoming the wintertime, and it sucks. But that's an opinion. I want to know what your favorite weather is. And your worst, like your least favorite.
Well, to start with my worst, I would honestly say it's probably around, like, I would say this time of year how it is present in Iowa, which is it's super cold, like below freezing, but there's no snow on the ground, or at least very little snow. And I think that if it's at least gonna be cold out, you might at least have some snow to at least go along with the aesthetic. Like, if it's gonna be cold outside, at least give me something better to look at, because I don't got any problems with the grass or any of that, but we see that like the whole year. If it's cold, I just want a little bit of change of scenery.
Right. So what's your favorite?
My favorite's probably got to be the fall, like the peak fall when the leaves are different colors and the trees still got their leaves. I don't like when they're all on the ground. I like when the trees are yellow, orange, red, all that different stuff.
I love the fall as well. That's a banger for me because it's hot and then it kind of gets cooler and it gets into that area where you can walk around without a hoodie on and it's still nice, or you can walk around with a hoodie on and be okay. That's definitely my favorite season, like my favorite weather. Number 2 is definitely winter. I grew up in California. I didn't really see snow a lot, but I love the snow. And I don't like being outside. I love watching it through like glass, but I think snow is beautiful. I think you can do a lot of things with it. And the more I'm getting into photography because we have a new camera, I'm very excited to take the advantage of the opportunities with the snow. So that's definitely a banger for me. I think the worst weather is like spring and summer. It's so damn hot for no reason. Like I do not look forward to the summer. I don't. Like and we worked out a lot outside in the summer.
Yeah.
You know what I think makes summer worse?
What?
Grass. I hate grass.
I love grass.
I'm allergic to grass, bro. I itch. I hate it. I despise it. I have allergies. I have seasonal allergies. The spring is when they hit. That's probably why my answer is like it is. Yeah.
I do get really itchy with grass. Some stuff is worse. Like football practice sucks when it's super hot out. Like I like when it's cool out. Like I mean, it can even be cold at football. That's alright because you can be all bundled up, wearing warm clothes. But I don't like when it's super hot.
100% agree. Especially in the football helmet with all this hair, dude. No,
Oh, I
it's
bet.
not it for me. This morning when we were lifting, I thought about shaving it all off. It was getting hot. It's like
Wow.
a insulation, dude. It
Yeah.
sucks. But I love it. I do love my hair for the most part. So we're working with it, man. So yeah. I mean, it's definitely odd to do those things. But you're from Minnesota.
Yeah.
What was like something you like to do in the snow? I know you. When I was up there, I was on crutches. Was I on crutches? No, I wasn't. I was barely walking around when I got up there.
Yeah, you
But
just
we
started
wanted to-
walking around again.
Yeah, but we wanted to play. You wanted to play hockey.
Yeah, a lot of my friends play hockey. My friend Isaac has a hockey rink like in his backyard practically because he lives on a pond. So him and his family like turn it into a little hockey rink, and a lot of my friends would go there. And I'm not that good at skating, but I'll play sometimes. A few winters ago, I was actually like really trying to get better at it, and I made a lot of improvement, but it was never got to the point where some of my friends who've been skating their whole lives are playing hockey for like 7-8 years were. So play a lot of basketball in the winter, get inside at the Y. That's when it really divides out between who plays basketball and who plays hockey. But when I was younger, my favorite thing to do, I'd take my dogs out, like the smaller ones, and I'd put them on sleds, and I'd send them down the hill, whether they liked it or not, like just for fun. And most of the time, like I think it was all right. I think they had a good time, but it was just really funny to watch them. They would just be so like
Terrified.
misunderstanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
Just flying down the hill.
I hate, like I went sledding one time with my friend Ellie,
Yeah.
and she flew down this hill, and she's from Iowa. She was like all about it. She knew where all the hills were, and she like fell off and scraped her face, but in the snow, like it was at night too.
Yeah.
It looked fine. Like it didn't look like it was bad, and then it started bleeding a lot, and then I was like, oh, like yeah, we should probably check that out. And like across her whole face was like burn mark, and then she had like a super black eye. And like messed her
boy.
up, so I got scared after that, and I won't go sledding
So
again.
you've never really like been sledding?
I mean, I have a few times, but like not after that, I haven't.
Oh, man.
But I think
That's
I told you when I
unfortunate.
went to Minnesota when you talked to
Yeah.
me about hockey, I would love like to play hockey. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'd be almost good at it. Like,
It really like if you can't skate, then you're just horrible.
and that's what I'm worried about. Is like
You're horrible.
I just yeah, I need to learn how to skate really well.
Because like in gym hockey, like I'm pretty confident in myself. I'm pretty good.
Right.
As soon as it becomes ice, I'm like the worst player there. Like I'll get picked last.
Didn't you go to high school with a dude that got drafted in the NHL?
I didn't go to high school with him, but he was one of my good childhood friends. Like in
Okay.
kindergarten, first grade, around that time.
And how'd that work out? I know you told me a story one time about how
Yeah,
they called him
so-
in class. Like I'm like, yep. We're
So yeah, I wasn't there for it, but another one of my teammates who went to a different high school is now playing for the Badgers. His name's Garrison. He had a class with my friend.
What sport? It's hockey.
My friend Jackson. He's the hockey player. So
But what sport does Harrison?
Garrison. He plays football at Wisconsin. He's a
Okay.
linebacker.
Yeah.
And Jackson was in class. I think they were in some history class because I seen this on Garrison's Snap story.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just chilling in class and they get a call. And it's the Vegas Golden Knights telling them they're going to draft him. And he's just
Are
taking.
they watching the draft or anything? or-
No, they're just learning about whatever they're learning that day, and then so he's like, thanks so much, like blah blah, all this stuff.
Did they let him leave class or anything?
Yeah, they let him leave class to take it. I mean, you kind of have to take it.
Yeah.
It's a business call, very
They're like,
big
hey,
business call.
who's calling you? He's like, oh, the Knights. And they're like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah,
Did he come back? I bet you he's like,
I mean, I'm sure I didn't go to the school,
Right.
but from what I was seeing on the story, I'm guessing he had to go back to class after. I
everyone's
mean,
probably clapping or something.
probably.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Is he still in the NHL? Or?
I don't know if he's like actually like even debuted there yet because, like I don't know hockey that well.
Me neither.
I know how the NBA works, where like you're part of their G League, and then you can become part of their team. Because he was committed to play at Michigan, and so I think they were gonna have him go play there still. But then when he was ready to leave Michigan, he could just join their team. But he might have just foregone his like season at Michigan and playing like in the minors or something like
Right.
that. I'm not really sure how it all works for hockey, but.
That's crazy. Like, they drafted him basically saying, like, oh, we got dibs on you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, as far as I know, they still have dibs on him too. So.
That's crazy. I'm excited for
Yeah.
that. He must have been a raw. So
I haven't talked to him in a while, but I remember we hadn't seen each other in a while, and then we ran into each other at a party like in high school.
Mhm.
And the first thing he asked me was if my thumb was still screwed up because in elementary school, my right thumb couldn't go past like this. It was like stuck like this. And me and him would always like get on the same football team at recess and stuff. And he would always remember that my thumb would be like this, because once in a while it would pop like this, it would hurt so bad, I'd just shove it back the other way. But we had no idea, like, what was wrong with it, we were just kids.
Yeah, that's funny, that 90
Yeah.
degree angle is just kind of like stuck.
Yeah, and then, like, found out my tendon wasn't long enough my thumb, so I'd have surgery in, like, 8th grade.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I've
but
never
ever since then, I mean, I've been able to move my thumb normally.
That's kind of
But,
funny.
yeah,
That's
just kind of random.
Yeah, that's very fun fact wise. That's,
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, how are you feeling about this new merch that we're working on?
I'm excited for it, and I know that a lot of people are, like, shout out to Colby Bass specifically. We're going to get you your hoodie. The time is coming. I can't wait for them. I love wearing hoodies around this time of the year. I don't really wear much else. And I need another M&M hoodie to be repping, so I'm excited for it. What about you?
I am excited to get to designing. I
Yeah.
think the ideas I have in my brain, that it's gonna look raw. It's gonna be kind of plain almost. I want it.
Yeah.
My idea is like nothing on the back, but in the front, like embroidered. How do you say that?
I think you're saying it right.
Yeah, like just like a Nike logo, but like it's gonna be like the M&M cups, and then
Yeah.
under just be like M&M podcast. I think that'd be
Something
so
clean,
hard.
something
Like that's like
simple.
that's drip.
Yeah.
Personally. So we're gonna get into that, but I mean, like I talked about earlier, I've been getting into photography and everything, and I think we're growing as a podcast. We're getting a website put together. We grew one more as a team. We have Cole Staska on. He's the cameraman.
Yes, sir. Shout out him. If you don't know who he is, don't know who our whole
Yeah.
team is, check out our Thanksgiving
Cole, why don't
post.
you come introduce yourself, man? Get on the mic real quick.
Let's
Come
go.
Come let the world know who you are. Let's. So we're gonna Cole. It's weird. Cole and I are from similar parts of Iowa, so I grew up not too far away from Cole. Cole, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hi, my name is Cole Saska. Go to Simpson College, class of 2026.
Nice. Where are you from, man? What do you do? What are you involved with?
I'm from a small town, southwest Iowa. It's called Missouri Valley.
Shout out Missouri Valley, Mo Valley.
Yo. A small town in Iowa, baby.
So yeah,
And that's you play football,
yeah.
And-
Football, play football.
Maybe
and
volleyball.
basketball.
Maybe.
Maybe volleyball.
Maybe, I don't know yet.
Right. Staying involved, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been part of the podcast for a little while, doing our filming, things like that. What do you think about it so far, man? Like, are you enjoying it?
Yeah,
You know,
it's lit.
it's like,
It's lit.
That's
Yeah,
all.
how it is.
I just love being in here with you guys. Like,
Yeah.
Like, even if I wasn't filming, just watching it's fun. It's so entertaining every time.
Yeah. What do you? I know you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You got a little studio of your own in your room. Talk about that, man. What do you like to do with that?
Yeah. I have a hobby, make beats.
Yep.
Produce a little bit.
Okay.
Beats by Cole.
Yes,
Nah, that's
sir.
not my name. I need a producer tag though. I need like a real one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You need one.
Oh my god, like it needs to be like a
Because
good
the beats
one
are
too.
good enough where you need a name
So
now.
let me
Yeah.
ask you something. You make beats, but you still haven't made us an intro yet.
Oh, wow.
That's we need one.
That
Man.
would be
We
lit.
had our friend Tyson last year make us one, and it was like it hit for a little bit, but I think that you
Yeah.
have the equipment to do something big. So can we give you that task of making us
Yeah.
a beat?
Right here, just
Just keep-
sign it to him right here. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah, I'll get in the stew and start cooking up.
Possibly for this episode. Maybe for the next one. Who
We're gonna
knows?
figure it out. So we appreciate you.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate having you on. So
Yeah,
Appreciate
I'll go
that,
back
man.
to my.
your little
My
camera.
duties,
I
yeah.
Alright,
appreciate
hey.
that.
It's great to have you on this side, Cole.
So yeah, Max, what's going on with you, man? Like,
I don't know.
do you have any takeaways from this week? I know we got finals coming up soon. For every school, everyone that's listening, even the adults, they know what these college kids are going through.
Yeah, I think it's that time of the year where everyone's super excited for winter break. We just get a little like snippet of what it's gonna be like going home for Thanksgiving. A lot of us, and it's kind of hard time of the year to really just stay focused, stay locked in. Heard Christian French talking to the men's gymnast about it, how staying locked in. Shout out him. French Fitz had him on the other show.
Last
And,
episode.
Yeah, I think it's an important time of year to be locked in. Make sure that you're doing things right. You gotta get your presents for your family. Treat people the right way around this time of the year. Should do it in general, but I think it's just extra important around this time of the year because just a great time for our country and just kids like us in our positions.
I refuse to hang around people that I know are 100% with me, and you know
Yeah.
that I keep my circle small.
Yeah,
But I have a lot of people that care about me and love me, man, and